Hi there. Many people are struggling with Report Viewer for newer versions of Visual Studio. The tutorials handles working with Visual Studio 2008, the previous tutorials, and these are very old now. And there are lots of changes and a few things that are not as easy as before. So in this video, I will try to show you how to work with Visual Studio 2013 Community Edition and the report viewer. So I'll start here by creating a new project. It's going to be Visual Basic project, and I will hit OK. Now I will add a database, so go here and select add a new item. Go to data and service based. It's going to be database 1. I will leave the name as it is. This is just an example, and I will double click this one. So here we got database 1, and I'm gonna refresh. I have no table, so I'm gonna create a new table. And here, what do we get? We get this designer, and since I'm lazy, I'm gonna use this one, auto increment. I'll leave it as it is. First, the name of the table is gonna be people, and this is small. Okay, no problem. And here, what do we have? We have person name, person name, unvarchar of 50, and person location unvarchar 50 as well. Okay, so let's say you have a table that that is storing not null, that is storing the name of the person and where he is. Okay, and it's called people. Let's assume that is just an example. I'm gonna say update now and update the database. Did it work or there was an error? Okay, let's see, refresh. Okay, it worked fine. So right click here and show table data. We're gonna fill this one now. So one, we have Smith, right? He's in the US, and we have Linda, she's in the UK, and we have Maria, for example. Let's say she's also in the UK. We have Todd, he's China. Okay, make all small. 5. We have Michael. He's in the US. We have John. He's in the UK. Okay, so we have these. There's no problem there. So I'm gonna save all of this. Fine. Next, what are we gonna do? So let's go to our form, and what we want to do here, we want to create a data set. If you remember from the previous videos. So we are going to add a new item. Let's go to data. We're going to select the data set, and I will select add. I'll leave the name, the default name, no problem, and go to Server Explorer and drag and drop this one here. So we have this information. Now we just need to do one thing, actually two things. The control has not been created for the data set, so right click and rebuild that. Okay, and everything's fine, and containers, whatever. Okay, now, and the view, wait a second, I should be able to, whatever, wait a second. So where is the data? I'm gonna drag and drop data grid view just for testing here. Okay, and Oh, there is no wizard there, right? There's no wizard there. So what we need to do is, if I remember that, I'm kind of forgetting things since I'm not using the wizard for a very long time. Other windows, we have data sources. Okay, so this is the data sources. Okay, and I'm gonna drag and drop this one here. Okay, we got this one, and I'm gonna start this. Just want to see the data. Okay, the data appears here, so all is working fine. This is what we want first. Now let's go to the actual work that we want to do. What we want now is to create a report for this table or for a query or something like that. Okay, so we have a bunch of things that we want to do first. So I'm gonna remove these. Okay, I was just checking that the program can connect. That's it. And let me also remove the code here in the form. And okay, so let's go back to our window. Now there's an empty window, and I need first to design a report. So many people are struggling with that. So right click and add a new item, and go to reporting here and use a report wizard to make things easier. I will leave the name as it is. It is report1.rdlc without any change, and hit add. Okay, now this one starts here. Now pay very close attention here. Now there is a name here, which is the data set. Now this name for the data set has nothing to do with this one. There is a difference here. Why, I don't know, but anyway, so I will use DS here, no problem. And then you select the data source. Now here you select the actual data set that you built. So as soon as you do that, it will list the available tables. So you choose the table, and this is the table here. Hit next. Now this is the confusing part. People don't know if they should put the values here, here, or here. Okay, so right now, if you want to display all the fields, let's try this out. So put this one here, put this one here, and put this one here. Now you might find there's a sum here for numeric values and nothing for the rest. So if you want to display all the values, you just select sum again, and this aggregate function goes away, and now all these values will be displayed without a problem. I'll hit next. Okay, this is how the report's gonna look like, and hit next again. And now you can change the style whatever way you like. Okay, and hit finish. Now I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger because why not. Okay, and it's gonna be name, and I call this country. Okay, this is a display of data, so they don't have to be the same as the column, the actual column names. And yeah, right click here, add page header, and maybe just to make it look cool, I will add a text box here, and I'm gonna say here list of employees and their countries. Okay, maybe T and C. Okay, and you select this one, align it to the center, and make it bold, and choose something like 28. Okay, so this is the design of the report. It's very easy, very straightforward, and you save that. In some cases you want to uh, show the ruler, okay, just to know the size of the report. So far so good. This is very easy. Now let's go to the annoying part. So go to form 1 here, and you want to display the report. I don't remember this very well. Usually I cut and copy code. This is not going to be easy. So here we go and search for the control report viewer, and you drag and drop this one here. Okay, well, what do you know? For some reason it worked. Can't believe it. Okay, on my other machine, when I drag and drop a report viewer, the report viewer doesn't work correctly. I get some kind of error, and this one doesn't even get rendered. Okay, so I'm not sure. The only difference I noticed that this one is .NET 4.5. Previous projects are compiled with .NET 3.5, so maybe this is the reason. Maybe. Anyway, regardless, I will choose this one, and it connects everything, and all should be working fine. So now let us run this code. Okay, and what do you know? It's working perfectly well. Just have to do something here. Just have to go and change the anchor. Where is that? A to Z. Where's the anchor? This is the anchor. Make sure it goes on to all sides and hit enter. And let's go and run this again. Okay, so now if I maximize, okay, you can see this one. And next you can change, make it the print preview. This is how the paper is gonna look like. Okay, so you have names and countries, blah blah blah. Now let's create another report. Okay, so I'm gonna right click here and add a new item. Okay, also report wizard. This is gonna be report 2. So things got much easier. I don't know why, but anyway, as I told you, when I try this on the other machine, I get lots of problem. The report viewer does not work as it is intended to. That's why I said it's going to be difficult. But for some reason, it's working perfectly fine. Anyway, so here I will use the same table, but I will display it differently. So you can see here we have row groups and values. So here I'm gonna display people based on their location. Okay, so I will put the group here. So I want to group them based on the location. I'll put the values here. I want to display the names, and I guess say next. And you can see this is how it's gonna look like. So it will place the location and person name here. Okay, so you have these different views. Maybe this one's better for you. I'm gonna say next. Wait a second. Expect to show totals. I will remove that. All right, or maybe leave it. Maybe leave it. Okay. Next, and select finish. Now let's go to our form, and we are gonna change a few things here. Choose a report. I'm gonna use the second one. Let's run this. Okay, so now you can see now in China we have Todd, we have UK and US. Okay, so this is fine. It's working well. You can see this is how the data can be viewed based on groups. Okay, now some people don't want the option of pressing the plus sign, so we are going to create another report, new item, and also report wizard. This is going to be report 3. I'm going to do the same thing here. I will leave the name here, dataset1, no problem, I suppose. And there's going to be location, there's going to be name, and next. Now the only difference that you can see this expand collapse groups. I will remove this one here. Okay, and yeah, and I will use this one to step 1. You can use this style or this style. Many styles. You can choose whatever you like. Okay. So yeah, I'll use this one, and next and finish. Okay. So Now, if you go to the form and choose the other report, report 3, and run this, okay, you can see in China we have Todd, in UK we have Linda, Maria, blah blah blah. So it's working fine, no problem there. Okay, so now in report 3 I'll show you how to do few other changes. Okay, let's say for some reason you want to display a header for each group differently. So I'm going to modify this. First we have no total, so I'm going to remove that. Right click and delete rows. Okay. Next, I will move this column here. Okay, and I will remove. Okay, and here I want the title of the table. Now, you might be wondering why I am doing this. Well, this is very easy. I want to display each group independently with some spaces here. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'll try to insert row inside the group below. Okay, wait a second. Insert row inside the group. Maybe outside below. Yeah, outside group below. Okay, sorry. The details. Okay, so I chose this one, right? And I said insert a row outside this group below, which means after displaying a number of names, it will leave a single row empty. So now here I can insert another row. Oops, I should use the equal sign. My mistake. Yeah, it's not that easy, but anyway, this is how it works. It's a little bit confusing, but it works fine. So the values, if you look at this bracket, the values from here to here, these are this is a single group. So when the report filters the value based on the location, that will be called a group. So the people in China, this is a group. The people in UK, this is a group, and the people in US, this is a group, etc. So it will display all the records in the equal parts. Every row that has these three equals, it will display the details of a single row. Okay, so you can use that. And these ones displays the details of the group itself. So in the group I'm displaying the location, and after displaying all the rows I will leave two empty cells. I hope that makes sense. It's not that easy to explain. It just takes practice to understand how it works. But anyway, so if you look here, you can see China, Toad, and two empty cells, and so on. Now, what we want to do is display a separate table here. Now, this is very easy because everything will be the same, except that we are gonna change the back color to be no color at all, and we have no borders. Border width is going to be 0 here. Oops, seems that I'm forgetting things. Okay, wait a second. Choose this one, and from here, no border. Okay. Now, for these guys, okay, I will again choose no border. Okay, and this one's also no border. Okay, so now I will save and run. Let's see. Now check this out. You can see each table, or maybe this way. Okay, so you can see now it appears as if you have three different tables. Now what's happening is that this is one table only, but I made the values, or sorry, the board. After each group there are few rows, and each row has no border and no color. As a result, visually it looks like as if you have separate tables. Okay, So this is one of the few techniques that you could use with groups to make the data look nicer, the data look as if you have multiple tables and single report. It is not that easy. The wizard is not very flexible, but it works in a way. Yeah. So I guess that's it. I don't know why it works right away. Usually it gives me such hard time when I'm working on the other machine. But hey, if it works, that's good. So this is basically how you can work here. Um, I don't have many things to explain regarding reports. I have other videos about reports if you want to check these, but it's very straightforward. I don't think you need explanation. In many cases, you just need to simply uh, display a table, not much. Um, oh, and some people are having problems using reports with posts and displaying data that are not stored in the database. And ask about, well, how can I display these data reports? Well, you can see here in the form load event, the program is loading the data and filling the people table. All you have to do is fill the data here yourself without accessing the database. Instead of using fill, you just have a for loop and you fill the values in the people table and the report will display them right away. So it's not that hard. Yeah, that's all. I hope you find this video useful, and if you have a question, post them, but I cannot promise I will answer them. I've been too busy for the last few months. uh, I can't guarantee that I will answer questions in time. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.